Hi guys, how you doing? This is your girl, the boss lady, and welcome to my channel. I'm sure you can see girl is feeling herself right now. I really enjoyed doing this bit, and I'm gonna show you how I achieved it. So you know by now that the first thing that you need to do is doing your eyebrows. I firstly brush them using a spoolie brush, and then I take my brown eyebrow pencil. The one that I'm using right now is from Essence, guys. It's almost finished, and lockdown is still on and cosmetics are not yet on sale. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I hope I am really gonna keep it until that we are ready to until the shops are ready to sell cosmetics. So what I did, I just drew a soft line under my eyebrows where my eyebrows actually finish. If you have thicker eyebrows, it's really ideal that you first shave your eyebrows. Then I did the same on the top of my eyebrow, and then I filled them in. Then what I'm doing now, because I'm really doing like bright colors, so I'm gonna use a very light concealer to actually define my eyebrows, and as well use it as a base for my eyeshadow. So I'm using the one from Cerebrol. It's very light, it's almost white, so it's really perfect for what I wanted to do. So I'm gently doing this. You really want to take your time, especially if you have time, to make sure that your eyebrows are perfect. I really don't like thick eyebrows or thin eyebrows. I really try to keep them where my natural eyebrows go. So I try to do a unibrow just to make sure that my eyebrows are on the same level, and then I just blend out the concealer down to my eyelid using a very flat brush, and I'm softly doing so. But be careful of not using so much product, because yeah, you will struggle blending that out. So now I'm taking my foundation from my top part of my eyebrow, because I don't want to have that halo effect, and I really want the top part to really blend well when I'm applying my foundation to my whole face. So that's why I'm using my foundation, and it's perfect. And the foundation I used for that was the one from Kryolan, and I'm on the shade D13 14 light. So I'm taking an eyeshadow blending brush, and I'm using just to blend out the concealer, just making sure everything is perfect. So for the fun part, for the first part, you need transition. It's that color that kind of like fades away to other colors to bring nice combination of the colors that you're gonna use. So the one I'm using right now, it's almost like, I would say, orange or pinkish, guys. Honestly, I'm color blind, but I'm sure you guys can see what color I'm using. And I used one that is more like green, or as more of a dark green, that I'm using as the second shade. This one I'm actually applying it right on top of my crease, and I'm softly blending it into the first shade that I applied, which is let's just call it some type of red. So I'm using a smaller brush that gives me so much preciseness. So now I'm dipping my brush on a more burgundy color, and I am blending where the green and the pink or the reddish actually met, so that there's that smooth transition. You never want harsh lines. So I'm using a very small brush, because this one you must be careful of not moving the product. You need to keep it where it is, but as well it must blend into the other color. So now I'm cutting my crease, and I'm using the same concealer that I used as base, and I'm using a flat brush. You really want to take your time with this, because if you mess up anything here, you definitely need to start all over again. So you really need to take your time. And because I've been doing this now and again, I kind of like really have figured out where my eye is and where I want my crease to actually go. And yeah, the process is a little bit easier now. So what I'm doing now, I didn't actually apply or put any powder on top of the concealer. I didn't set it. Now I'm applying like a neon, I think this is a neon yellow. So I'm applying it from the tear duct of my eye to halfway my eye, and I'm going to use this as a first color. So the reason why I didn't set my concealer was because I want the color to really pop, like to really stand out, and for that long lasting effect. Because sometimes, the powders, the eyeshadows, tend to fall off as the day goes by, so it really does help to put it on top of the concealer without setting it. So then the second color that I applied was a neon green, which mixed well, or which really complemented the neon yellow that I used first. And now what I'm doing, I'm actually blending the colors together. Guys, blending is very, very, very important when you're doing your eyeshadow, and you really want to take your time with it. Then at the corner of my eye, I used a very dark green. I mixed it with the black so that there's that deepness of the green. And then now I'm doing like my eyeliner, and I'm using the one from Essence, the liquid liner. Guys, it's only going for like 49 rand. I think it's one of the cheapest, and it lasts longer, and it does a perfect wing. Like, it's easy to apply. I was really considering if I should do like a wing or not, but yeah, I went for the wing. So now I'm cleaning out the fall art, and I thought, let me just be spicy. Then I applied the white liner. I kind of liked it, but because it's finished or I'm running out of it, I struggled a little bit because it didn't really sit the way I want. So, but anyway, I think it worked. And now I'm actually applying my foundation. But before I apply the foundation, what you saw me guys doing, I first covered my black spots, and I used the Kryolan D13 14 light, which is so perfect. It's got total coverage, and what I love about it, it's non-allergic. But today, the foundation that I thought I should try out or should use, I used one of my favorites as well, which is the NYX in the shade Deep Olive. I'm so sad they actually discontinued this range, but there's another range that is really good that I saw them. I think I should try out, and I'll tell you guys how I feel about it. And then now, my favorite part, it's time to get slim. I'm highlighting and contouring, and today I'm using a different method than the one that I usually do. So what I did, I firstly applied the FAWN concealer, the one from LA Girl, right on top of my cheekbones, and then the one that I'm applying right now, I'm using the one from Smudge. It's a little bit lighter than the one, the FAWN from LA Girl. So this one really doesn't have a number, unless if it disappeared, because I tried to check so that I could tell you guys, but I couldn't find it. But what I know, it's lighter than the one from illegal phone, because I usually use phone that's on my shade. And I'm cutting my nose. I'm making sure that there's some concealer as well on the side. Like, I'm cutting my nose, I'm making them really, really thin, because you know, Africans, we kind of have that big nose. And they did the same for my forehead and my nose. And you see, it's so easy to apply because of the stick. And I started blending it out using a smaller brush, because I wanted to be precise and I didn't want to move the product like at all. And then I used another brush, a foundation brush. But as you can see, the way I'm blending, I'm kind of like dabbing into my scale. I'm not really moving the product, because I wanted to make sure that my contour and my highlight today is gonna be like popping, really standing out there, because it's more of a bold look, but you really want to take your time. So now it's time to contour. The contouring palette I used here is from Revolution. On my shade, it's got different shades, and I used the darkest of shade because I had to make sure that, you know, like my nose, my cheekbones are raised, my forehead is smaller, and my chin is also smaller. Like, I don't want a double chin. I don't think I have a double chin though. And now I'm blending out the contour. So when you're blending out the contour on your cheeks, you want to blend going upwards so that you don't drag your cheekbones down. So you want to look like your face is very smooth, your cheekbones are high, and that your face is not long. So you really want to make sure. So you contour in different ways depending on your face shape. I think next time I'm going to try to do a tutorial on how to contour for different shapes, because you contour differently for a round, for an oval, for a long face. And so I'll show you guys. I think I'll do this video soon. So now I'm baking. This is also my favorite part, because this really helps make sure that my makeup stays long. And I'm using Kryolan powder in the shade P5. It's one of the best powders that you can use. I think in general, I'm a Kryolan fan because the makeup lasts longer. I can cry and my makeup won't run. So I'm actually applying my baking or highlight baking in the areas that I would have highlighted using cream. So I did my cheekbones and I did my forehead, my nose, my chin, and just below my jaw or above my jawline. And then now I am applying the powder from Essence, the compact powder. I think in the shade Mahogany. That's the one that I'm using to make sure that that contour is like popping. I'm sure you guys can see the difference that now I look a little bit slim. And then now I just used like the compact powder, the one from Essence as well, just to powder out everything. Guys, I literally forgot to press record when I was doing my under eye. Please forgive me, but I'm gonna make sure I show you how I did like the neon under my eye on my next video. I promise you. Please forgive your girl. Guys, you know by now I am more of a nude girl. I try other shades, but like I struggle, especially when I do a very standing out eyeshadow. So I'm also doing my nudes today. You know by now I lined it with my pencil, and then I applied some light lipstick, like a nude lipstick. It's on a palette, so I can't tell you which shade it is, but it's a palette that I also got from Kryolan. And then I applied my lip gloss after, and then now I'm simply just dusting off the baking. So usually I stay around like maybe let's say 10 minutes with my baking, or even more if I have time, if I want to do other things. And then now I'm basically making sure that your girl is glowing. And you know by now my favorite highlighter or bronzer, I'm using the eyeshadow from Essence, the gold one. It's a single palette. It really does work for me, but sometimes I mix it with the one from Revolution and it also does magic. So you see guys, you don't necessarily need expensive things to look amazing. And now just to define my cheekbones after applying my my blush, I just redo my baking. While least I make sure that this head is in good place, guys, because as you can see, my hair is not ready to be seen by people. But so I'm gonna do my head wrap. So you know I always apply 2 or more head wraps. So I first applied this one that I usually play around with, and because I did like a neon green, neon yellow, I thought this look would be perfect. I actually kind of like got the inspiration from it, and then I'm using it. As you can see, it's always easier to start your look from the back to the front. It's easy to style and you can come up with many styles. I'm just taking one end and taking it all over around my head back to where it started from, and then I'm just tucking it in and securing my look perfectly. And then I'm taking the other side. So rather than me going the opposite direction, I went the same direction so that I can create more like of a structure that the other side is higher than the other side. I think that's the best way I can explain it. And then now just it's all about your creativity or what you think your head will look better in, and I'm making sure I'm securing it. I think I loved it. And then just tuck it in and just be happy with the look. And then now I'm just doing the finishing touches. I'm softly dusting off the baking, like softly. That's why I'm even using a smaller brush, because I don't want to disturb the highlight as well. And I just want to leave the powder a little bit so that the contour is just, and my makeup can do 8 to 9 hours without touch up. Like I promise you, you can ask any client. And then ta-da! I really use setting spray unless or otherwise it's really necessary, but I get on very well without setting spray. I think I love it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and your family. Your girl will really appreciate it.